Hello everyone, and welcome to the next episode of CyberJar live streams. Today, I have a very special guest, Ian Dancan, a software engineer at Amigoscode and a passionate community builder. Hello, Ian. Welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for coming. So, how are you?
I'm doing good. Recently, I learned in where I work. Whenever you're asked how you're doing, you should always say thanks for asking. So I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
Yeah, and I always actually had the problem with this question. How are you? Because I always wanted to say like, yeah, I have this problem or I have this problem, and actually honestly say how I am. But yeah, in the
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
I'm fine. All right.
Yep.
Well, welcome everybody. Say hi in the chat if you wish to. Say where you're joining us from. We are very curious to know where our audience is. You can ask any question to me or to Ian during our live stream. So today we are not discussing any niche technical topic. We are talking about the topic that is no less important, which is the Java community. Because when I first entered the Java world, I felt so special. I felt that this community around Java is so well, it is extensive, it is tremendously extensive, but it's so vibrant, it's so active. People discuss things, people do videos, conferences, and there is so much engagement, and I love that from the very beginning. And I've been watching Ian as he rose to stardom, so to say, and that he was building the community, started building community around him, his local community, step by step, and that was a very exciting journey, and it is ongoing, of course, right? So if you have any questions, again, to me or to Ian, please welcome. Right. So, Ian, let's start with something a little bit further away. So, how did you first get into software development?
Yeah. So yeah, that's a very nice question. Um, Now my journey started in a very funny way, a very funny way. And I'm doing my okay. I recently finished my mechanical engineering studies. That is what I was doing at school.
Hmm.
Then my first encounter with code was probably in my second year. We did C. I hated programming. I didn't understand anything. We did Java. That was my worst language. Like, yeah, safe to say that it was my very worst language. I didn't understand because the lecturer used to write code on the black whiteboard, and then yeah, things were very tough for me when starting out. So I didn't like know I'd explore it as a path later in my future. But yeah, just like this random evening, I'm always grateful to this person. He's called Andrew. Talked to me, told me there is something called Java. You could try it out, and once you master it, there's gonna be a lot of opportunities for you. So yeah, that's how I came across Java. He bought a course for me on Udemy. Always grateful for this man, because yeah, going a step ahead to like purchase a course for me on Udemy was something that was yeah, crazy. Then when starting out, like initially I had that thing in me. Java is difficult, man. It's difficult. So I struggled. That was around June 2023. So I've not been in the tech space for a very long time. 2023 June, he bought the course for me. I struggled up to October, and then from there, I talked to a couple of guys in my class, eight in total. Tried to convince them, let's try this thing called tech. Let's try and write code, and there are a lot of opportunities that you could explore. And at the back of my mind, I used to know that tech really pays a lot of money. So I used to go to Indeed, look at the salaries that people are getting paid, and then convert it into my currency, and then I see, damn, this is a lot of money. So that was the notion I had initially. Of course, it's not a bad thing. It's good to have a motivation. And
Yeah.
then yeah, formed a group with them. We learned. So I live by the philosophy: learn today, teach tomorrow. So that's what I was using. So I learn a concept today, and then we meet. I walk through them some concepts. We used to use some websites to learn and whatnot. So that's ideally how I got into development. Yep.
I see. So, is there a feature in Java or a concept that finally made you think, okay, I love Java, I want to stay with that and with its ecosystem?
OOP for me. OOP really made a lot of sense. Like the whole thing about object oriented programming, like
Mm-hmm.
really made a lot of sense to me. So how you could think about like software in terms of objects. So whenever you think of a student management system, you're thinking of students, teachers, librarians, such kind of things, and then how you could translate the business whatever into code using OOP was also interesting. Just aside that, something that made me almost hate Java was collection frameworks when I was starting out. It was really tough for me. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do you remember your
Mm.
first demo that actually worked? Something that made sense? Because usually the first demo for everybody is like a to-do list in Java. Do you remember yours?
I don't know. Because yeah, possibly the demos I've done is during the times I used to teach people. Because like I said, when starting out, started with 8 people, and then as time went by, some lacked resources and whatnot, so they had to drift away. Some motivation, so it ended up like I started like exploring other places where I could sort of like teach people, So went to my school community and then asked the leads that were there. I was not active in the tech space back then. Is there a Java community where people could learn, for example? Then none. There was no Java community in my school, so I formulated one. Just like just talk to people around, teach
Mhm.
them stuff, and then that's how it. I started sharing on Twitter and LinkedIn, and then that's how people started joining. And yeah, so the demos I've done, possibly the recent one, where I did my first on-site presentation. So it was at a Google event. I was speaking about Gemini and Spring AI. So that's
Mhm.
the possibly the very first time I've done like a demo live where people are there and then they could see the actual stuff.
Oh yeah, live demos are like well, not a nightmare, but for me that's a great fear that something goes wrong in live demo. That's for me like a phobia. I don't know.
Yeah, it
Hmm.
always goes wrong at the first time. I don't know
Oh
why, but for
yeah,
some very weird reason, yeah, you just have to normally say, but it was working. It was working, and then
yeah. It was
yeah,
working like half an hour ago. Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
I know it's wrong. Yeah. Right. So you said that there was no local community for Java around you, so you started
Mhm.
building one yourself, and this is how you got involved into the building the community, right?
Yep. Yeah. So, just like some other context is when I was starting out, of course, in my school there wasn't. I'm pretty sure even like other universities there is sort of like difficulty in terms of like people teaching Java, and so you'd get like the commons, JavaScript, Python, which is good. But now the sessions I used to attend when I was a beginner. There was a guy called Sam Programmers. He used to have Twitter spaces where he was teaching people code. So I used to float a lot during then.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because at the very very end of formulating the Kenya Java user group, these are the people we partnered with, or just like we joined heads and then decided to have like an official Kenya Java user group. So yep.
Cool. So maybe so about building the Java user group. So was it difficult actually from doing that from scratch?
Yeah, it's difficult because one is you're building a community, and this is, I guess, cuts across all communities. It's normally difficult because you're looking at the type of people that you're addressing. You have people who have experience, are in the industry. You have people who are starting out. You have mid-level juniors and whatnot. So you have like all these kinds of people you need to worry about when formulating this community. So at the very first, it was challenging. One, gathering the people to help me lead, because we tried the first round. I had a couple of people. I was running the community solo at first,
Mm-hmm.
so just like our WhatsApp group, we just like have sessions and all, and then reached out to the guys that we currently lead the community with. And then now how to create a balance between the sessions you deliver amongst these people was like very very challenging, because you have to cater for all. the parties involved. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
it's challenging. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, these people started engaging with the community, with the Java
Yep.
user group from the very beginning, like
Mhm.
from the very start, or you had to somehow spread the word, create the, I don't know, Twitter account or Telegram account or what's
Mhm.
not, to make
Mhm.
people aware of that. So how did you
Yeah.
spread the word? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, so at first we didn't have like an official Java user group that was recognized under the Java umbrella. So we just had a WhatsApp group where we did the sessions. Yeah, okay. So then we decided to just like make things official. So what we did is because I was a bit vocal, more vocal than probably
Mm-hmm.
the others, I made a lot of noise on X and LinkedIn. So what I did is we formulated that X account. No, we started by registering it in the Java umbrella. So on dev.java, I guess there's where you could help, we could get help in terms of like registering the community. And then after that, we started making a lot of noise. Fortunately, we had Dashan, my very good friend. So he helped like boost the community in terms of like spreading out there. So he's been part of it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Dashan is amazing. I absolutely love him.
Very, 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 very amazing. Yeah, we actually met fun in a very funny way. I even
Yeah.
don't remember. Oh, he wanted to talk to speak in my community because we were used to we used to do like Saturday sessions. So I on Saturday we look for speakers among the community. They come present topics and whatnot, and then we posted often on X, and then he reached out on X. At that time, I was the one who was managing the Twitter account, so reached out. I was very excited seeing that it's a developer advocate from Broadcom.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how we met with Dashan. Went live on YouTube and prepared, doing a lot of cool stuff, and then he ended up coming to Kenya, which was really really nice. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he really boosted the growth of our community.
And that is great. Yeah, that is great. I
Yeah,
remember those photos that you posted on that, and I saw, oh my God, like, I mean,
yeah. Yeah.
that's
No, no, you
amazing.
see, he did something amazing because now I'll probably say at the very end, because now this year in Kenya is gonna be big, it's gonna be massive because we're gonna have somebody so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So kind of like a
Mm.
background. By the way, how do you choose the topics that you would present at the Java user group, or the presenters? So because if the topic is like too easy, then that's for the junior devs, right? And if it's too
Mhm.
complicated, then there are going to be like only two participants from senior devs. So how do you balance this stuff?
Yeah, so there are several ways we've done it. So one is because I normally had like I used to handle the sessions. I was doing some solo sessions called Java for Everyone. So we coupled that into the Java user group. So what we did is Java for Everyone was ideally anyone who wants to refresh the concept, but ideally we are targeting beginners so that at least we can bring them into the Java space easily. And then for Saturday now, this is when we had like at first we had sort of like a Google document where we have all the topics, and then from there we just like do the topics progressively. So if you're doing the basics of Java, we are not doing like an in-depth per se, we just like having a 1 hour session to tackle the topic. So it went on incrementing till we reached like the advanced concept. So we're trying as much as possible to not scare away beginners, but at the same time, we need to have the people who are experienced to share their insights in the community. Yeah, so that's how we try to at least diversify how we handle the sessions in the community. Yep.
Yeah. Is it was it at least complicated at first to
Mhm.
uh, encourage people to go out into the world and actually start sharing the knowledge, start presenting, start talking? Because software developers are usually introverts, right? It's very difficult to make them talk sometimes.
Mhm.
So how do you
Mhm.
manage to convince them to spread the word, share
Yeah.
knowledge?
So before this Ian or this Java guy who was very vocal, Ian was a very shy boy. Um, I don't know if I could call myself introvert because okay, I love talking, but I was a very shy guy. So I feel like um, going out there is really nice. It's really nice because that's what gets people out there. And there are people who are getting roles by speaking at events. There's one person who presented at our user group, and then ended up getting a role at one of the people who joined the sessions. You see, so I'm really an advocate of going out there, sharing what you know, because when you learn something and then share it, it's like you're repeating that thing. And there is a philosophy that says repetition is the mother of mastery.
Yeah.
So once you do something often, there is I'm forgetting the actual term. There is muscle memory that is built around that concept. So it's gonna be retained for a very long time. So the more you share, the more you get from it. And that's how I grew as a Java developer. So I kept on sharing, creating posts, teaching people, doing a lot of stuff. So it really pays off. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing actually how the person could be very shy or an introvert and then start to open up, right? And actually seem like a very chatty, outgoing, easygoing person. That's amazing. And
Yeah, amazing.
yeah, it's just I remember starting my journey
Mhm.
in this regard, and I'm also a very very shy, extremely shy. I mean, public speaking was for me. I used to almost faint. I really sincerely I saw like black sudden in front of me, and that's yeah. So hi, Vash, hello.
As we say hi in the context of shyness. I remember my friend is the one who can attest to this. So we were doing a presentation, we were pitching a certain project that we built. So the shy Ian, you can imagine, ran off stage. He ran during
Yeah.
presentation. Yeah,
Can, I
it was
can
very
imagine.
embarrassing. It can happen, it can
It
happen.
can
Yeah,
happen, yeah,
but
especially in the
mm,
beginning. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but you see, like from there, I ended up like getting the courage to even MC events. So I normally, when I was very active at the school community, I used to MC events, be it Google events, whatever comes my way. From there, I just like I was very bold because yeah, the fear is now gone. What's there to fear? Mm.
But do you still get this anxiety before you speak? Do you still have this inside of you, like this something anxious, something maybe a little bit of fear, like spicy feeling?
Before this session, I was anxious. It
No.
must be there. Yeah, it must be there. It must be there. Because I guess the trick is normally to breathe in and out for like 3 4 times, and then yeah, voila, you go. Nobody's gonna eat you. So yeah.
Of course, of course.
Mhm.
And one good friend of mine once said that if you don't worry at all before talking, right, before presenting,
Mhm.
it means
Mhm.
that you don't care, and that is bad. So
Yeah,
there
yeah,
has to be this feeling of worry or anxiousness. That's okay. That's totally okay, right? It means that you really care for the people that you talk to, that they will find something that you talk about is interesting or important to them. So yeah, that's
yeah.
important.
Yep, yep.
So when we say community, right? We said many times during this talk we repeated the word community. But what does it
Mhm.
mean exactly for you personally? What does a
Mhm.
community mean?
Yeah. So a community for me is just like a place where there's people who are like-minded, people you share the same ideas. Okay, sometimes you might differ in terms of ideas and approaches, but really it's a place where you could get to learn, ask questions, get answered, get opportunities. Very important, because at the end of the day, you're not here just to learn and learn forever. You want to put food at the top of the table, or you want to, yeah, just like share what you know. Yeah, that's my view of community. So it's a place where like-minded people are gathered to share opportunities, learn from one another, and such kind of things. Yeah.
So how would you characterize the healthy community? So what kind of factors contribute to the community being really good, really welcoming?
Yeah, one is the reason I did Java for everyone was because I love beginners, because I suffered as a beginner when I was starting. Yeah. So a community that is very welcoming to beginners, it's very, very important, because when these seniors retire, the juniors are the one who are supposed to like replace them at some point, you know. So just like a warm community, and warm I mean a community that is very welcoming. Of course, there has to be respect and boundaries, because of course there will be places where people have like differences in terms of opinions and approaches and such kind of thing. So it's always good to have different opinions inside a community, but how the opinions are channeled really matters. So a community that has a very nice culture of how to handle people, those are the things that I guess really matter when it comes to having a community. And as long as you have a team that helps you manage that community, you're set to just like do a lot of amazing stuff.
Do you have to deal sometimes with like those wars or tooling wars when people just start hating each other and killing each other just for the sake of their opinion? Have you ever had to deal with that personally?
Yeah, there's a friend. He's a part of the core team. He's called Kennedy. He was baptized from, okay, he still does quackers and everything, but there was a time there was a war between quackers and Spring Boot. There are people who just come to, I don't know, they feel like the group is so bored. They want to make it active, which is cool by the way. Sometimes to make some things fun, but yeah, it's always there. There will always be times where people just like have different opinions, and there's always gonna be framework wars, and people who come and spam the group with a lot of funny messages, funny text, scammers. There's a lot of things that happens in these communities. So yeah, it's always upon the people who manage the community to resolve them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So especially with those framework words. I mean, uh, and but I think maybe when people are offline, when they
Mm.
meet together, like face to face, there's still more friendliness than in the comments section, right, of some video or Reddit thread, because people are usually more brave when they're hidden behind their laptops. Don't you think?
Amazing. They are called keyboard warriors. Yeah, keyboard warriors. Yep.
Exactly. So, what exactly
Mm.
do you do now at Amigoscode? What's your responsibility?
Fantastic. Now that's a very good question. Yeah, at Amigos Code, I do what I love. It's just like teaching. It's basically teaching. That's what I've been doing like
Hmm.
90% of my career. That's what I've been doing from the very start, teaching. Just like sharing what I know. That's ideally what I do. Help this role. How I met Amigos Code. I guess he was here. He commented. I guess he was here, Nelson. So how we met is me building in public, sharing a lot of stuff that I do online. So yeah, I during the Dashan's event in Kenya, so I was frequently posting on LinkedIn about what we're doing, and then Nelson reached out to me. Hey, bro, I've been seeing you a lot on my feed. Let's have a call. Let's do something together with the. At first, it was with the community. Okay, so he came to the community. We did some stuff. He presented a talk, and then after a while, he's we now have a community called Amigos Code Academy on School, SKOOL.
Hmm.
So he reached out to me and then said, "Yeah, I see my younger self in you." And when a person tells you that, man, it really moves you. To be
Yeah,
honest, yeah.
yeah.
So the passion, everything that you've done is just like how I used to do the thing. So let's just like join hands and work with me in this community. So yeah, I before it became official, I failed my Microsoft interview. I was almost dying.
Hmm.
I was devastated. Yeah, 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 yeah. So then he told me, now, what made you fail DSA and Lit Code? Now come teach people that in my community. Yeah, so that's what I ideally do. Java, Spring Boot, anything DSA, Lit Code, helping people learn how to build in public, such kind of things. Yeah,
Hmm.
ideally helping people.
That's great. I mean, that's so encouraging. And I can see in the chat that people are so warm and welcoming. I mean, they all greet you, encourage you. So thank you, everybody who's posting in the comments. So don't be shy, right? Say hi to Ian, to me, give some warmth and some love. right? I can see all the comments and Ian too, so that's very nice of you guys. Thank you.
Yep.
Right. So you said about this failing the Microsoft interview.
Hmm.
Of course, I mean Microsoft. Yeah, that's a huge corporation, and I wouldn't. I think I wouldn't even go out there and try even to apply. So that was very courageous of you to do that. But did this experience
Hmm.
uh, uh, well, teaching that is not a good word here. Did you bring something from this experience? Did it make you like stronger in some way?
Yeah, it made me like, I feel like things happen for specific reasons. Yeah, so that's how I normally like look at things. So whenever something happens, and then I just say that it happened so that I could learn something from it. And from there, I sort of like been curating materials that help people navigate through interviews and the kind of things that they should look out for in interviews. So I used my failure as sort of like a stepping stone, and also sort of like curate a roadmap that people could use and just try and avoid the mistakes that I did during my interview. Yeah. So I learned a lot from it, and from what I learned, I'm now sharing it with people so that they just know how to navigate these things. And yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Are you going to try one more time with Microsoft, or that's just a past story?
In future, maybe we'll see how it goes, but as of now, I'm just okay, because like at the end of the day, I just like got what I love doing. So that's still fine with me, as
And
much
that
as it hurt. Because like, the sessions that I used to host, I used to have a certain background. I used to have a background that has VMware, Netflix, Microsoft, this Duke, and yeah, those you get the big companies. So, and then after it happened, yeah, things happen. You learn from them, and then you pick yourself up and then move on. So maybe in future we'll meet at some point there.
exactly. But as you do now what you love, I think that's the most important thing. That's because that makes you happy, right? So it
Mm.
does it doesn't matter, Microsoft or Google, whatever you're doing right now, what you love. That's amazing, and that brings so much, again, also help to the community, to the
Yep.
Java ecosystem. And as you are mostly focused now on teaching, so have
Hmm.
you noticed any maybe trends? So what people actually like, what works in terms of mentorship, and what kind of content do people react to better? So what's your
Yeah. So yeah. So I'll basically share with like the experience I've had with Nelson or at Amigoscode is, yeah, we have students, and yeah, we there is courses that are already pre-recorded for them to look at, a lot of materials from Java to Spring Boot, DevOps, name them. So there's that aspect where students could learn from the materials, but there's the aspect where now students want the 1v1, like the feedback from either of the tutors or from Nelson. So I feel like there's that aspect, because when they say a person who does the same thing often and expect different results is a madman. So you could watch tutorials like severally, with the aim of, and if you're not understanding like three times, when you go watch it for the fourth time, you might be mad. So there's the aspect of having another person trying to explain this concept in a different way, other than what was explained initially. So I feel like that is one of the things that people really love, getting a different perspective or a different way of learning something. And yeah, that really helps them better themselves. And also, just like putting them in pressure uh, before they even get to start doing interviews. Yeah, so have a random call, random evening. We call them office hours at Amigos Code. Pick a person, tell them implement this simple REST API in Spring Boot. So find a person by ID, do all the edge cases where you're checking when the user is not found and such kind of things. So I feel like that's another way in which people are gaining a lot. Just like, as long as there's a human interaction, that plays a very huge role in them upskilling. Because again, it teaches them the aspect of communication, because they say most of the developers are a bit low in terms of like communication. But once you start doing it at the very early stages, it makes you even better in terms of communication when you're up in your career. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, when I and when I started also my software development journey, the
Mhm.
googling skill was really important. Yeah, because you had to find you cannot know everything, you cannot remember everything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you had
Very
to find the
important.
answer to your question. But with the rise of AI, do you think that it has shifted? Do you think that people still need this googling skill, or they can just ask AI and receive the answer instantly? So what's your stance on that?
There's okay, I love like philosophical things. You should find joy in suffering. So the more you suffer, the more you learn. Okay, the more you struggle. But at the same time, I feel like at the end of the day, what really matters is, are you authentic to yourself? And being authentic is, it doesn't really matter where you're getting the source from. Is, are you understanding whatever you're getting from either of the sources? Because I feel like GPT has now tools to access Google. It can now do the Google search for you. So if you ask it, it's gonna like do a bunch of scrapping from whatever resources, and then it gives you. So there's that aspect. But you can also Google, try read articles, blogs, and all those things. But at the end of the day, do you really understand? Have you really understood whatever it is you're looking for? I feel like that's what really matters for me, because most of the times I also find myself using GPT or Cloud to help me understand things, visualize everything for me. Like I said, at the end of the day, are you really understanding, or have you understood whatever it is you're looking for? That's what really matters.
It is. It is. Do you teach people to not trust AI blindly, to analyze the results that it gave to them, to be more critical of what it writes? So,
Mhm.
mm,
Yeah. So GPT has at the very end, it says there at the very bottom, it says GPT can make mistakes. So yeah, they,
yeah,
they, they really need to be aware of these scenarios where, okay, yeah, as much as it knows a lot of stuff, there are places where it could be faulty, it could hallucinate or go wrong. So you always advocate. That's why there is the aspect of having various ways of looking for materials or resources to learn. That's why you could use GPT, or if you're not into that, you could try go in websites where there's articles, Medium. So the art of reading as well, lengthy stuff is also like very nice when you go to articles to find some certain piece of information that you're looking out for. That's also good. Yeah, not solely depending on one source.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Do you, by the way, use LLMs in your work a lot? And if you do, what exactly do you do with the with AI?
Yeah, it just helps me create posts. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie about that one, man, because my English is not that good. I'm not gonna lie about it. Yeah, so like what normally happens is I give my bad English post and then it refines it for me. So such scenarios, or whenever you're creating something, some material, and then you feel like there's something that's a bit off. So it could help you sort of like try fact check it, and then yeah. So for places where such places where you're creating a post, you honestly, I can't lie that I do it on my own. No, you just have to use AI and then use it responsibly. So there's a difference. You could tell whether a post is generated by AI. You have 100 emojis there of rockets and whatnot. So you just have
Yeah,
to know how to do it. Yeah, you just have to know how to find your way around using GPT or these LLMs to help you in your day-to-day activities.
yeah, I agree. I mean, that and that is totally fine. I mean, I use GPT for generating maybe ideas for demos because I've noticed that I thought that I'm a creative person. Maybe I am, but with the rise of AI, I have become more lazy in this regard. So it's easier to just yeah give some feature to ChatGPT and say, okay, I need like a realistic demo for to showcase
Mm,
this tool or this feature, Java feature, Give me something
Mm.
like that, yeah, because just refined example like laboratory piece is not really interesting, yeah. But when you use this tool in a relevant setting, then,
Mhm.
well, it's like more interesting for people to actually to learn that, right? So,
Yeah,
and
that's true. That's true. That's true.
yeah.
Because another example is there are times I normally give people in the community lead code questions to handle sort of like on a daily basis. So there are times I feel lazy. I don't wanna go to lead code and do, I don't know, do what, get the questions and all. So I just ask GPT because it has access to lead code. It can get those lead code questions. It does that for me and saves my time and also, yeah,
Yeah,
there's no harm.
of course, and also for maybe for research, right? When you want to dig into some topic, then you say
Yep.
like, you find me like information about that and quote all the sources and give me the links to all the sources, and then it's just like
Yeah,
a Google on steroids, I would say maybe.
yeah, exactly. Now this reminds me. There's deep search. There's deep search for those LLMs. So like GPT has like the deep research, deep research. So that's a very nice tool to help you like do whenever
Yeah.
you feel like you're doing some very detailed research. That's a very nice. And then the other one that is very very nice I met recently is Notebook LM. Notebook LM is a lifesaver. For
That's,
me, it's very nice because you could ideally give it a book that you're reading. It generates a podcast for you. It
uh-huh.
it did a 35 minutes podcast, and how accurate the podcast is and how it's delivered, the articulacy and all the flow, very very nice. And then it could generate infographics, generate mind maps, generate. I recently I need to upload a video on how I did, like it generates a video for you. So say for example you're learning on Spring AI, give it a PDF that contains Spring AI materials. It can generate a video with slides walking you through all these concepts. So Notebook LM, very very good tool that people are sleeping on. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So AI is a powerful tool if we use it correctly, right? That's
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So you
Exactly.
can be given a car. You're very excited, but you don't know how to drive. It doesn't help you. But given a person given a car, they know how to use it. That's
Yeah.
a win
Yeah.
for them.
Exactly, exactly. But I
Yep.
think that AI may impact in a bad way people who start only start their software journey, because the question whether AI will replace developers or not is already invalid, right? We know it will not replace good developers, but for those who start, it's actually bad to use too much AI. Maybe it is better to do it like old-fashioned way, to just open up the IntelliJ idea without Juni or without Cloud Code, and just try to write the code like manually, step by step. So, what do you think is better?
Yeah, so the idea really is there are people who talk about like AI replacing engineers. Of course, AI could do a lot of stuff, and there are people who are not technical, very technical, but you could see them generating some cool things. But normally the question is you're vibe coding, say for example, let me just use Spring Boot, and then you are not, you don't know what 500 is, for example, the internal server area, and then you get that. Say for example, the model is hallucinating, and that means that your development journey ends there. So you have to think of a new idea and then start again. The same happens to front end. So there is something people are using next, say 17, or I don't know about front end, but you can imagine that scenario where something went wrong. The model is not aware, it doesn't have the context of that. So that means that
Hmm.
your journey ends there. So what I really advocate for is as much as you use, I know some is gonna butcher me for this because he's not an AI person, but really it's the fundamentals. Like the fundamentals really really matter. So whenever something, the question really should be whenever something goes wrong that AI would waste a lot of time and your tokens trying to figure out. So are you in a position to sort of like fix that thing on your own? Yeah, can you identify these things? Because what it's doing is it's doing massive stuff, to be honest. And then if a mishap happens, are you in a position to fix it, for example? That's what like really matters. So you'd be able to fix these things if you have the fundamentals right. So really really the fundamentals play a very huge role.
Hmm. Right. We have a
Yep.
comment from Joe Awesome. Ian, community is proud of you. Oh, that is so nice. Thank you,
Yeah.
Joe.
Joe
Right.
is a legend. Joe is a legend. He's a
Legend,
legend.
why? Who is
He
Joe?
knows a lot of stuff. He knows a lot of stuff. He knows a lot of stuff. Like deep Java stuff. Yeah.
Ooh, cool.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So nice to meet you, Joe. Right. Do you, apart from mentoring, teaching, do you also
Mhm.
contribute to open source projects, or it's not your priority right now?
I'd say it's not a priority, but I've tried to contribute to some of the projects that I find people contribute building. Yeah, I'd say that's my way of sort of like open source and whatnot. But I've not like ventured deeply into that space. But yeah, I've contributed to a couple of repositories where people are building stuff, and then they ask me to act as collaborator. I'll just like join them and then contribute a few things on them. Yeah.
Hmm. If you had
Yep.
maybe more free time, what would be your perfect open source project that you would love to contribute to? Imagine that's
Spring.
just a dream. Spring. Okay, which part
Yeah.
of Spring?
Um, I'd say Spring AI, the rag architecture. So I don't know what I'd contribute, but I just love that idea of like rag, and because that's the thing I used to play around with the most.
Mm-hmm.
Rag. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Cool. Right. What do you think is a way of contributing to community apart from writing open source code? So, if people want if people think, okay, I love Java community, I love the community where I am. How
Mhm.
can I contribute? So, what do you think? How can the person start?
It's easy, I guess. It's easy. One is like, say, I just give an example of my user
Yeah.
group. So there are people like Joe. Um, it's not that like they contribute to open source, but what they do is they deliver sessions. So they come present on, say, Java memory management, for example. So that's one way of doing things. You could apply be speaker, give talks, because at the end of people, I normally tell people there's someone who is watching. So if you are out there looking for a role and you're doing stuff, just keep doing it, man. There is someone who is always watching. Like Nelson was watching me. Yeah, so there's that. So they could give talks, contribute if there's an event that is being planned, like the one I'll mention, the one we're having in Kenya. There is that. You could sort of like try talk to the organizers and see if you can contribute in any way. That's how you get into, say, the lead groups, for example, and it comes with a lot of opportunities. You could also be a person who attends sessions and they are very active. So whenever I attend sessions, I always try to bring the tendency of let the session not be boring. So let the speaker not speak alone. Ask as many questions as you can.
Hmm.
Interrupt them. Do a lot of stuff. So there's that. It doesn't. You don't have to be among the people leading the community. You can be among the people who advocate for the community. You could be posting about what the community is all about. So at my first internship, that is what I was doing the most. So posting about what I'm learning from them. So there are several ways, and at the end of the day, all these ways, if you try either, they are to your advantage. You're the one who is gonna gain out of all these things.
Yeah, that's nice. And that's actually another question that I was going to ask you, and you already answered it. So, how do you keep the discussions lively, right? Because we don't want the session to turn into the lecture, right? Because people
Yeah,
will just
yeah.
fall asleep and then they will not come back, maybe, right? But as you said already, right? So, ask
Mhm.
questions, engage,
Yeah.
right? And
Mm.
make it a dialogue, right? Not a monologue. That's important.
Exactly. So you should. Some says preach to the choir. You're not preaching to the choir. So just like ensure you always you have your audience on toes. It shows that they are following what you're doing. So randomly call out a person, for example. I don't know, Kat. Can you answer this question? So that's what I normally try to do whenever I either in a session or delivering a certain concept. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you encourage people to linger, to stay after the talk and just chat with each other, have like a glass of tea or beer or whatever, just to stay around?
And I really love that. I really love that. I When I used to do the Java for Everyone sessions, we could end the call after, say, for example, 1.5 hours, and then I would just stay to have random chats with people who want. They could ask me any question they have around Java. I don't know what. There's a time we did with Sam and the team. So we did a session, and then after the session, we just remain behind, talk about how work is, for example, talk about the concepts that we've been learning, the things we've been learning. And we did it for an extra of around 4 hours, because the meeting started at around 8 p.m. my time. And then, of course, it's like a 1 hour, 30-minute session, but we got out of the session around 11 p.m. So these things happen and they are fun. They are fun. You really learn a lot. I learned a lot. I learned how to handle job job pressure. I learned a lot of things from it. How do you respond to, because I was very junior back then, so how do you respond to situations where you have the right thing, and then the person who is your lead has like sort of like, okay, you feel like he's wrong, but how do you handle these differences? So I learned a lot from such kind of conversations where you don't talk about anything technical specifically, but just like random things from it. Yeah, so if you can, it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Sometimes in the conversation after the talk, you learn so much, even more than during the talk. And sometimes the
Exactly.
talk is like the preamble to the actually actual the discussion, and that's so
Yeah.
amazing. Right.
And yeah, yeah.
Okay. Collins, Yator, go, 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 Ian. Oh, that's nice. Uh,
We are
you're
proud of this small boy.
that is so great. I mean, uh, yeah, right. Do you actually feel encouraged by that? That people actually like what you are doing, and then you feel more energy to do more, to continue what you're doing.
Yeah. Good feedback is the driving fuel, I guess. So the more you receive a lot of feedback from people, the more you're encouraged to keep on doing, because it really tells you that you're doing the right thing and you should keep on doing. Because I have a lot of people who tell me I sort of like motivate them in their journey. They are looking up to me and such kind of thing. So it really makes me do even better. So yeah.
Yeah, we have the comment from Newton. Ian pushed me to master DSA. Genius, this one. Oh, cool. So yeah.
Thanks, Newton. Yep.
Yeah, so when you inspire people, and when you see actually that people that something has changed, something improved, and then they
Mhm.
manage to find your help useful, that is, I don't
Mhm.
know, for me that's the greatest maybe feedback I would really
Yep,
love to.
yep. I did this after seeing you do this. That really melts my heart.
Oh yeah.
Dashan told me, Dashan
Yeah.
has recently been doing a lot of video content, a lot of video content. And then before he started doing, I was doing more than him. And then he told me, you're really motivating me to push a lot of content. And now he's surpassed me. He's doing, I,
Cool.
yeah,
Cool, cool. Right.
yeah.
That's amazing. But have you ever received negative feedback?
That has to be there. That has to be there. Not everyone would like you. Not everyone. Not everyone. There are people like this is like very common. There are people who think or believe that when you share stuff, it's not good. I don't know what such kind of things. There are people who tell you that, okay, stop sharing, I don't know, do this, do this, do this. Yeah, so what you just do is just like give a deaf ear. So instead of arguing, if it's a comment, ignore. If it's somebody who is like got a new 1v1, they say listen to all advice, but the decision is yours to make. So yeah, just listen to them, don't quarrel. And then yeah, you're the one who has the pen. You're the
Yeah.
author of your own life. So you just have to decide the things that you want written in the book of your life. So
Yeah.
there has to be there. It has to be there.
And I think it's very important for us to like separate constructive feedback, right, from
Yeah.
just negative stuff, right? Because if
Yeah.
it's good, if it's sensible, then yeah, we can use that to grow and to improve. If it's just the opinion, well, okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, you cannot be liked by everybody. That's impossible.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So yeah, constructive feedback is very, very important, and people need to learn how to approach it. There's a time I did a post on LinkedIn explaining the different types of polymorphism, and then he's called Bosch, if I'm not wrong, corrected me in the comment section, and yeah, it was tough to say that. Okay, I thought I knew. I really thought I knew. So I had to go back and reread the whole thing and do a deep dive of the whole concept. So such is good feedback. So you also need to take, as much as it might be painful, know how to take good feedback, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's something that helps us grow, right? Not only good feedback, but also
exactly.
active negative feedback. That's just the way to
Yeah.
improve, and that's totally okay. And maybe that's even good, right? Have something like that,
Yep.
constructive, right? This
Yep.
is sensible. Uh, yeah, exactly. So, Ian, how would you describe your typical week?
Quick.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
software wise. So, what do you do in a week? What do you manage to do within 1 week? As the community builder, as the software
Mhm.
engineer, as the teacher.
Okay. So uh on Mondays, no one loves Mondays. No one loves Mondays, that's for sure. Everyone is always complaining about Mondays. So Mondays are normally busy, where you just like have to push a lot of stuff, ensure everything is in order. Like ideally, my weeks are spread through with meetings. There are meetings all over. So I have to do a lot of code reviews. I have to catch up with students, get to know where they're at in whatever it is they were doing. Are they facing any challenges? So ideally, that's a summary of my week. So Monday, Tuesday, up to Friday.
Mhm.
Just like do a lot of mentoring stuff, and also like curating some materials, because I prepare like courses, short courses for the students at the academy. Say for example, like DSA help. Um, that's ideally what I do the most. And then on weekends, I have friends. We go play a lot of games, and then yeah, we reset for the week. So that's ideally how my week looks like. Just meetings. I speak a lot. Yeah, I speak a lot from Monday to Friday. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, well, I sometimes feel like I also have to speak a lot during the week,
Mhm, mhm.
but in many cases, I just have to like write an article or record a video. So it's like one on one thing with myself. But
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
go too much, I feel I love that, and I love talking to developers. I love talking to people. I just love that. But I feel sometimes when it's just too much, I feel like an old iPhone. You know, like the battery just goes down, and I need to recharge a little bit. Do you feel
Headache,
like too?
headache, headache. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Headache is a must for this scenario. So you can imagine you're always talking. You're always in meetings. So headache is very rampant in this scenario. So you have to accept this is what you do, and you just have to drink a lot of water, and then you'll be good. Uh, yep, yep, yep. Meetings. Because if I wasn't an educator, uh, my other go-to role would be a developer advocate. That's for sure. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's amazing, developer advocacy. But you already do that. You are already a developer advocate because you stand for developers, you care for developers, and you help them. So that's what developer advocacy actually is. It's not about
Yep.
being the employee of a company, right? It's not only about this
Yep.
official title, but that's the state of mind and the way
Yep.
that you do it. I see that you already are a developer advocate, so
Yep. Yep.
so what are your next plans for building up the community further? So what would you like to do with the Kenya,
Uh,
maybe a user group, with your local community? So what are the plans?
yeah. Yeah. So what really we are looking at is how could we better the sessions? How could we better deliver? And we are already doing that. So ideally, not a lot is changing, because the whole essence of a community is just like share opportunities, learn from people, do such kind of things. So we already have like the Java for everyone back again. There's a person who is doing it. We want to do a couple of more things. Like we had lit code, so we normally had like what we called lit code Wednesdays, where we just like do a random post on X and LinkedIn about a specific problem on lit code in the morning. In the evening, provide a solution, and then on Saturdays we have sessions. Like the ones we invite like Dan Vega, Josh Long, he came, Dashan, such kind of things. And then now, how do we have the aspect of these people in the community meeting together and just like having fun, learning from one another? Because you can have 10 or 20 virtual sessions, but have one physical session that really has a bigger impact because of the one-on-one connection with the other people. So that's what we're trying to look into. Possibly have 2 events per year or just one. Ideally, the goal really is for people to meet aside the behind the cameras. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the mistake that can ruin the community? What would be like not a one person mistake, but in general, some factor that would negatively impact the community? What do you
I
think?
feel like it's bad leadership. No, bad leadership. So once you have like the people who are steering the community, but they are not showing up, because I normally feel like I'm a person who loves communication. Whenever there's an issue or whenever we're not having a session, we just like have to let people know that okay, there won't be a session. Otherwise, if it happens often and you're not letting people know that the session does not happen because of this and these reasons, you definitely are losing people. Because that happened to me, so I learned from it. So I did Java for Everyone sessions. There is times I didn't feel like doing the session, so I didn't let people know that okay, we're not gonna have these sessions.
Hmm.
So yeah. Because when I was starting out, I guess I had like when I did the call for people to apply for the Java for Everyone, I had like 500 people sign up
Hmm.
for so you can imagine, and then it really drastically dropped. So the people who attended, of course, there are people who are just applying because they want to see what is happening, but there are
Yeah.
people who really want to learn. So started the first session, I had around 250 people, and then possibly people saw that's not their thing. You ended up with around 50 people, for example. So you can see. So yeah, as long as you are a good communicator, it really matters to people. That's my opinion, and good leadership. Otherwise, the community is definitely gonna fall.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that that's important. Yeah, because when you're building the community, you want it to be. You don't want to let it down, right? You don't want to let people
Yeah.
down and to disappoint them. So yeah, if you
Mm.
there is some responsibility that you take on yourself if you consider yourself part of the leadership of the community. Then yeah,
Yep,
that's
exactly.
important.
And also like whenever the community is inactive, if it's a WhatsApp group, if it's an X or LinkedIn, you just like do some random stuff there. Post something that could engage
Mhm,
people. If it's a WhatsApp,
mhm.
do polls. Ask them a couple of random questions. Yeah,
Yeah.
that keeps them engaged and active. Also on X, ask a bunch of questions. Say you have this error. How would you solve it? Yeah, just like try to keep them engaged so that they see the importance of the community.
Cool, cool. Yeah, that's important. That's very cool. Yeah. So you keep the community warmed up, right? In a way, so you don't let it just
Exactly.
go cold. Cool. Yeah.
Yep,
That's
yep,
very good
yep,
advice for if somebody wants to participate in building the community, somebody wants to build the community. Ian has
yep,
just gave like the recipe for the success, right? Because don't abandon your community, right? Don't let it down. Don't forget about that. Right? It's there, and you have to make people uh, feel that they are wanted, that they are needed, that the community is active, that something is going on, right? And that's very important. So you have to
yep.
just be
And
there and deliver. Hmm.
yeah, and also like yeah, whenever there are people who'd ask questions. So if you know an answer to that question, always respond. And if you can't respond in time, because yeah, there are people who value feedback and guidance. So as long as you show up for people, it really shows. It now describes in full the real deal about like being in a community. Because I'm in a community because I know that whenever I have a question or I have a problem, people could help me understand. Like today, there's a person who's asked why people are talking about Oracle often, talking about Azure, AWS, and are not talking about Oracle. So that that drove a whole new discussion, and people are like contributing and answering the question. So yeah, that's another way of keeping the community active. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Well, thank you so much, Ian. That was a very, very nice conversation, very lively conversation. The chat was very lively as well. Thank you, everybody who posted. That's great. I can see that, yeah, the community around you is strong and very. So you did a great job. And you are doing a great job. That's amazing. I
Thank
admire you so much.
thank
Thank
you,
you so
thank
much
you,
for the
thank you.
conversation. Yeah. Thank you everybody who attended. And so yeah, the biggest takeaway, right, that we can make is that if you want to contribute to the community, you don't have to uh, participate in building open source projects, right? You can, of course, but if you want to do something, at least something, right, just start with giving back, right? Just write a little tutorial, or post a question, or whatever, do something, right? So just to be part, to feel yourself part of the community, and to maybe the article that you wrote, or maybe even a code snippet that you posted, or like on Twitter, hey, I had this problem, I solved it, maybe it will help somebody, and that is already a lot, right, Ian?
Yep, yep,
If you
yep.
help,
Very, very important.
yeah, if you help at least one person, then that's what matters, right? And then
Yep,
you can just
yep.
start building from there. So right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Ian. That was a very, very nice conversation, right? And yeah, hopefully until next time. Bye bye,
All
everybody.
right. Bye bye.